The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter number 4, text number 38. Given by His Grace, Sriman Sankarshan das Adhikari. Recorded on August 27th, 2012, in Akheloi, Bulgaria.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nahi Jnanena Sadrisham Pavitram Iha Vidyate Tat Svayam Yoga Samsiddha Kalena Atmani Vindati Nahi Jnanena Sadrisham Pavitram iha vidyate Tatsvayam yoga samsiddha Kalenadmani vindati Nahi jnanena sadrisham Pavitram iha vidyate Tatsvayam yoga samsiddha Kalenadmani vindati. Na, nothing. He, certainly. Jnanena, with knowledge. Sadrisham, in comparison. Pavitram, sanctified. Iha, in this world. Vidyate, exists. Tat, that. Svayam, himself. Yoga, in devotion. Samsiddha, he who is mature. Kalena, in course of time. Atmani, in himself. Vindati, enjoys. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism. And one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Purport. When we speak of transcendental knowledge, we do so in terms of spiritual understanding. As such, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is the cause of our bondage, and knowledge is the cause of our liberation. This knowledge is the mature fruit of devotional service. And when one is situated in transcendental knowledge, he need not search for peace elsewhere, for he enjoys peace within himself. In other words, this knowledge and peace culminate in Krishna consciousness. That is the last word in the Bhagavad Gita. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Garakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Zavadutam Pradijana-sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. So, Krishna is very wonderfully explaining what is transcendental knowledge.
И така Кришна много прекрасно обяснява какво е трансценденталното знание.
Transcendental knowledge, he says, is the mature fruit of all mysticism.
Той казва, че трансценденталното знание е зрелия плод от целия мистицизъм.
So, this means devotional practices, mysticism.
Мистицизъм означава практиките на предаността.
Activities of realizing the supreme.
Или дейностите насочени към осъзнаване на върховния.
So there's two things described here. There's the transcendental knowledge. And there's also the practice of devotional service.
Две неща се описват в този стих. Едното е трансценденталното знание, другото е практиката на преданото служение.
The most relishable thing in all of existence is described here.
Това нещо,
At least in this world. It says in this world.
казва се, че в този свят нещо, което човек най-много може да се наслаждава, се описва в този
The
свят.
world we're in right now, this material world.
Или света, в който се намираме в момента, материалния свят.
You want to relish, you want to enjoy, you want to appreciate or experience the most wonderful thing, that is transcendental knowledge.
Ако искате да се наслаждавате, да вкусвате, да преживявате най-прекрасното нещо в този свят, това е трансценденталното.
So, how do you get to that point where you can actually relish transcendental knowledge within yourself at every minute?
Как да стигнем до този момент, в който наистина можем да вкусваме трансценденталното знание в себе си?
That is described here.
Това се описва в този стих.
One who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time.
Тук се казва, че този, който се установи в практиката на правилно служене, се наслаждава на това знание вътре в себе си с течение на времето.
In other words, such an advanced mystic or transcendentalist does not require anything external to become satisfied and happy. Just the knowledge itself, the Krishna knowledge of Krishna consciousness, completely satisfies him. Even you arrest him and put him in prison, He spends 50 years sitting in a prison cell. He can sit there and relish the highest bliss for 50 years in that prison cell, just because he has transcendental knowledge. So, right now, instead of relishing transcendental knowledge, we're tortured by our frivolous, mischievous minds. Our minds are agitated like monkeys, junking here, jumping there. You see. Our minds are not peaceful. We have a hard time even to chant 16 rounds because our mind is jumping. So how to get to this place where we become completely steady and totally satisfied just by the knowledge of Krishna? We have to become accomplished in the practice of devotional service. What does it mean to be accomplished? It means to be expert. That means all aspects of devotional service we should strive for excellence. Whatever you're doing in Krishna's service, strive for excellence in that service. Whether you're offering an arti, dressing the deities, washing the dishes, putting on your tilak, putting on your dhoti or your sari, associating with devotees, preaching, Harinam Sankirtan, Ratha Yatra festival, relationship with your spiritual master. In every single aspect of devotional service, one should strive to become first class. In other words, one should be a perfectionist. To be very clean, to be very punctual, to be very honest, to not be angry, to not be envious. You see. These qualities, these saintly qualities, means you're developing expertise in your Krishna consciousness. A person who is agitated, is angry, he's lusty, he's greedy, he's not becoming expert in Krishna consciousness. So if we can develop this expertise, then we can relish the knowledge at every minute. In other words, we won't see through the mundane eyes anymore. One who is fixed in this knowledge, they see through the eyes of Scripture. And therefore they can see Krishna within everything and everything within Krishna. In the beginning it's philosophical, based on Scripture. But as one becomes completely perfect in Krishna consciousness, then you can directly see Krishna with your own eyes, your purified eyes. That, of course, is a highly advanced stage. We neophytes cannot imitate that. That is the exclusive domain of the Paramahamsas, the Mahabhagavats. But Prabhupada wants us to qualify for that. We start off as Kanishta Adhikari, materialistic devotee. And then Prabhupada wants us to come to the Madhyam platform, intermediate, you see. And then from there, Prabhupada wants us to come out Uttam Adhikari, Mahabhagavad.
да се издигнем думата на Адхикари или Махабага.
This is Prabhupada's desire for us, you see.
Това е желанието на Шрила Прабхупада за всички.
Not that we remain conditioned souls. He wants us to become liberated souls.
Не е да си останем обусловени души. Той иска да станем освободени души.
So we should strive for perfection every day.
Затова всеки ден трябва да се стремим към съвършенство.
When I'm chanting my rounds,
Когато се мантруваме кръговете,
when I'm preaching to somebody,
когато проповядаме на
when I'm giving a class,
когато даваме лекция,
when I'm hearing a class,
когато слушаме лекция,
you see, when I'm doing, even clipping my fingernails, everything we should try to be very first class for Krishna.
дори когато си нарежем ногтите, всичко трябва да се опитваме да правим първокласен за Кришна.
So by cultivating this mood of excellence in all of our services,
Култивирайки това настроение на съвършенство, отличие във всички наши,
this knowledge becomes more and more relishable.
това знание става все по- и все по-приятно да се наслаждаваме на него.
And then one enjoys, as Prabhupada explains here, great peace within himself.
И тогава човек се наслаждава на голям.
This knowledge does not create agitation in the mind.
Това знание не създава възбуда в ума.
This knowledge relieves one from all the agitation of the mind.
Това знание облегчава и освобождава човек от всички тревоги и притеснения.
Therefore, one should seriously cultivate this knowledge.
Затова човек трябва много сериозно да култивира това.
So the peace of mind and the knowledge, Prabhupada says, they culminate in Krishna consciousness.
Човек казва, че спокойствието на ума кулминира в Кришната знание.
Which means complete, total surrender to Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Което означава пълно, тотално отдаване на Шри Кришна.
So we have a few minutes left for questions. I can now ask if there's any questions.
Има няколко минути за въпроси.
Моят брат има желанието да дойде на вечер сега насам, за да ме вземе, ако има възможност. Имала е 2 операции и смята да се запознае. Аз не знам как да кажа.
Her brother, who was the surgeon,
That's right, he was praying. And he was fasting because he felt so bad that people died. So, he's a very pious man. I appreciate that piety. You can tell him that actually it was their karma, there was nothing he can do, it's not his fault.
he may come.
But by taking, if he wants to purify himself of all of his own karma, then tell him to come and chant and come in here and come to our meetings and chant with us.
That's what she's saying, that he may come this evening to meet you.
Well, that'd be nice. If he comes, really happy to meet him. Okay, any questions?
Някакви
Искам да попитам, че понякога, въпреки че имаме някакво знание за душата и за че няма нищо общо с всички тези работи, въпреки това умовете ни са притеснени, не е така, че всъщност се наслаждаваме за това знание въпреки в сърцето си.
Question.
Sometimes, although we have this knowledge about the soul and that we don't have anything to do with the material, but still our minds are agitated, and it's not that we are relishing this knowledge within us.
Yes. What the question is why?
Why is this happening?
Yes. If you have a knowledge but you're not relishing it, that means you're not fully situated in the knowledge.
Ако има знание, което обаче не му се наслаждаш, това означава, че не си напълно установен.
Because you're not fully accomplished yet in the practice of devotional service. There's a defect in your practice.
Защото все още не си напълно опитен в практиката на
In other words, to whatever extent you're properly engaged in devotional service, to that extent your mind will be peaceful. If your mind is agitated, that means your service is not proper. There's some defects in your service.
Твой ум е възбуден и не е спокоен, това означава, че има някакви недостатъци в твоята практика на преданото служене.
So therefore it's in our real self-interest to perfect our service.
Затова в наш истински интерес е да усъвършенстваме своето служене.
Because otherwise we just have agitated, disturbed minds, you see.
Защото иначе умът ще си остане възбуден и неспокоен.
If you're not properly engaged in devotional service, you won't get a higher taste for Krishna consciousness, and therefore your mind will gravitate towards material sense gratification.
И ако умът не е, ако не сме правилно установени в Кришна съзнание.
And what is the result of material sense gratification? Material sense gratificatory desires.
Тогава ние ще сме склонни към материално стилно служение. Кои са тези желания за материално
The result is very, very bad. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Jayato vishayang pumsam sangat teshu prajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodo vijayate krodad bhavati sangmoha sangmoha smriti vibhrama smriti brangshad vrinidasho buddhinasho pranashyati. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From such attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. From anger, delusion of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, bloop, one falls down again into the material pool.
Докато се зерцава обектите на сетивата, човек развива привързаност към тях. Привързаност се поражда поход, а от походта възникна гревът. От грева възниква пълната илюзия. И от илюзията объркване на паметта. Когато паметта объркана, човек изгубва разума си, а когато изгуби разума си, отново пада материалното блато.
Therefore, it's very dangerous to not have them be fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Затова е много опасно човек да не е установен добре в Кришна.
Indriyanam 267. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmanunu vidiyate tadasya harati pragyam vayarnam vimamvasi. As a boat on the water is carried away by a strong wind, just like we have very strong winds right now, you see. A boat on the water by this wind can go miles, you see. As a boat on the water is carried away by a strong wind, even one of the senses in which the mind focuses can completely bewilder and carry away a man's intelligence.
Както една лодка във водата отнасяме от силния вятър, така дори само едно от блуждаещите сетива, върху които се точва умът, може да отнесе човешкия разум.
So you need to become expert in devotional service.
Затова трябва да станеш опитен в правилно служение.
You really need to.
Наистина. Every
devotee who wants to be successful and happy should be a perfectionist. In everything he does. You know, we have a tendency sometimes to be untidy in our rooms, to not organize things, you see. Be a little, just throw here, throw there things, you see. Or the kitchen. This is not good. This is our Sudra mentality. We just sloppy, leaving things here, leaving things there, not neat and organized. This is a defect. It shows when it was not organized externally. When we are not organized externally, it means we're not very well organized in here either. How you even Prabhupada said for lecturing, one should dress very nicely. He said first dress and then address. Even for preaching, you should be very well dressed. Nicely dressed, you see. Nice, clean cloth, nicely ironed, at least, you know, not all wrinkly and nice, everything first class. So how we do everything is very important. Every little thing we do is very important because it adds some. You add it all up to that's what you are in Krishna consciousness. So we have to learn how to not to be dirty pigs in our living. You see, not to live like dirty pigs. We have to learn how to become neat and clean. How to be punctual, you see. How to be honest. And how to always be respectful to Vaishnavas, even if there's some disagreement. How not to be carried away by anger. So all of these things, they add up, you know. Everything adds up. And the sum total is your Krishna consciousness. So, it all adds up. Your living habits, your reading habits, your speaking habits, your eating habits, your sleeping everything. It all sums up to where you are in Krishna consciousness. It's not that you can just give good lectures, make a show of being a fixed-up devotee, and then, it all comes through. Where you're actually at in your own Krishna consciousness, that's manifest in your preaching. You can't preach beyond your actual advancement in Krishna consciousness. It's not possible. However much you're advanced in Krishna consciousness, that much you're able to convey Krishna consciousness, not beyond that. So if one wants to be successful in preaching, then the first duty is to become very successful in practicing Krishna consciousness in a very first-class way. You can't live like a dirty pig and be a powerful Brahmana. Not possible. One has to set the example. So we're deficient. Now in doing that, we're deficient. Prabhupada was telling the devotees, not that you sleep, he made a joke out of it. He said, not that you sleep 26 hours a day. The devotees were sleeping too much. He made some joke about and then he said 36 hours, some huge number that, he said, you're sleeping so many hours. So we should sleep what we need to do our service nicely, but not for sense enjoyment. So in this way, we should become very disciplined and regulated. And then we'll surely realize this knowledge within our hearts. And we'll become fully qualified to go back to God. We got 10 minutes left. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you?
What you said is very correct, but sometimes we observe that persons who are not following, but they speak very nicely, and they can do a lot more nicer than the person who is Krishna conscious, because more Krishna conscious or whatever, but the others are doing more, they get more followers and more everything. So could you explain how that?
Yeah, but the followers, that's not one. It's like there's one Mayavadi kirtan singer. He's a superstar now.
Yes, even the devotees go after that. So how is that?
That's another. Let's take one question at a time. I can't answer the second question before I answer the first one.
It's
not practical.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but no, I specifically take one question at a time.
Okay.
Not that I'm starting to answer one question, then another question is thrown. I can't do like that.
It's the same question.
Well, it's a different angle on the same topic matter, but it's not as different. So the first question was, why is it somebody's very polished and attracting people, but they're not Krishna conscious? That's their karma. That's all. Look at Hitler. He wasn't Krishna conscious. But how many followers he had? Sieg Heil. They loved him. The Germans loved Hitler. They were inspired when they submitted their lives to him. They were very inspired by Hitler. Of course, a lot of it was just done out of fear, but he became so powerful. But he was actually voted into office by democratic vote. So just because you're a powerful leader and you're a good speaker doesn't mean that you're a pure devotee. It means you had some karma that enabled you to attain that position.
привлече хората, това не означава, че е чист преданодайен.
The pure devotee preacher, he may not have so many followers like these Mayavadis.
Чистият преданодайен да няма толкова последователен.
Does that mean something less? No.
Тези Майавади, значи, че то е нещо по-малко.
They're just temporarily enjoying the results of previous pious activities. That's all.
Временно се наслаждават на резултати от минали благочестиви дейности.
That means this opulence they're enjoying now of how many followers it will go away. They won't have it forever.
Това, че те се наслаждават сега на много последователи, това няма да е за винаги точно.
And then they actually, Prabhupada says, such bogus teachers, they will go to the darkest region of the ignorance of the universe.
Прабхупад казва, че такива лъжливи проповедници, те ще отидат в най-далечните региони на
their followers will go with them.
И техните последователи ще ги последват там.
Therefore we advise the people, don't follow these bogus gurus.
Затова ние съветваме хората да не следват лъжливите гуру.
Seek out a bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic succession from Krishna.
Трябва да търсим авторитетен духовен учител в ученическата последователност.
And surrender yourself fully at his lotus feet.
И да му се отдадем напълно в лотосовите ножи.
Any other question? I think you had a question.
Two questions. Here's two questions.
Okay.
Значи първият във връзка с това, Гурудев каза, че ние трябва да сме перфектни дори детайлите във всяко едно отношение.
I'll just take one question at a time.
По един въпрос.
Само един да не знам.
По един.
Да, добре.
First thing you said that we should be perfectionists in our service.
Yeah.
Някои преводани съм чула това, може би като оправдание, може да не е оправдание на ума. Не ме трябва повече сън, нали, без тези, които имат някакви здравословни проблеми. Не ме трябва повече сън, защото моята природа е такава. Аз не мога да правя това е моята природа. Какво може да отговоря на тези преводани? Как трябва да се постъпи?
Some devotees, they say that they need more rest, that their nature is such that they cannot do some particular services. So is this some kind of justification of the mind, or what we should...
The thing is, in the temple, the rule given by Prabhupada is the temple should not be a free hotel.
Правилото е, Прабхупада казва, че храма не трябва да е...
Everybody who stays in the temple, they must rise every morning for Mangalarti.
Тези, които живеят в храма, трябва да стават рано за Мангаларти всяка сутрин.
And they should sleep 6 hours.
Трябва да спят по 6 часа.
Or if necessary 7, he said.
Или ако необходимо 7.
So that's the actual standard. If somebody is not following that principle, then they really shouldn't be living in the temple.
Това е стандарт. Ако някой не го следва, той трябва да напусне храма.
Because they're spoiling the atmosphere of the temple.
Защото разваля атмосферата.
If you are in a situation where there are such people there and the temple authorities have allowed it,
има обаче такива ситуации, които има такива хора в храма.
What to do then?
Авторитетите са го
You
разрешили.
have to tolerate it.
Какво да се прави? Трябва да се търпи.
But you be fixed yourself in Krishna
Но
consciousness.
ти трябва да останеш установен в Кришна съзнание.
If someone around you is not Krishna conscious, you can't blame them for your lack of Krishna consciousness.
Ако някой около теб му липсва Кришна съзнание, ти не можеш да се оправдаваш за себе си.
Krishna consciousness does not depend on external situations.
Защото Кришна съзнание не зависи от външните обстоятелства.
It depends on your determination.
То зависи от твоята лична решителност.
So you can't blame the external situations for your lack of Krishna consciousness.
Не можеш да обвиняваш външните обстоятелства заради липсата на твоето Кришна съзнание.
Second question.
По отношение на това пак, че трябва да сме всичко да ги вършим перфектно, но понякога се случва да не вършим всичко перфектно. И особено като влизаме в олтара, муртите, когато служим на муртите в олтара директно на Кришна, това е... Трябва да сме много внимателни, но аз имам опит, че съм допускала някои грешки. И въпросът ми е дали получаваме резултати, отвадим внимание.
От даване на такова служение.
Да, дали получаваме някакви... Чувала съм, че получаваме реакции, да, бързи реакции или естествено не най-добър характер, ако има такъв нещо такова, да.
The second question is also related to this, that we should be perfect in our service, and she's asking about the service of the pujari when she's going to the altar, and sometimes she makes mistakes, and are there any reactions for these mistakes? She has heard that there's some reaction.
Seva, this is called Seva Parad. Prabhupada said that actually Seva Parad is neutralized by the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra.
Това се нарича Seva Parada и Прабхупада казва, че те се неутрализират тези оскърбления чрез повтарянето на Харе Кришна Махамантра.
See, Nama Parad, Seva Parad is minor compared to Nama Parad.
Сравнение с Nama Parad, Seva Parada е по-малко.
If you're sincerely chanting Hare Krishna and there's some, you forget to bow down, or, you only say you forget to ring the bell, these things are very minor.
Ако ти искрено възпяваш Харе Кришна и обаче не направиш някакъв пропуск на алтара, забравиш...
Just sincerely try your best and Krishna will overlook those Seva Parad. As long as you're chanting your rounds and following the principles, that's the main thing.
Кришна няма да гледа толкова сериозно на тези оскърбения, но ти трябва да си мантруваш мантрата и да спазваш принципите.
Okay, actually our time is up. It's almost time for the arti, but he's not haven't come yet, the Pujaris. Until the Pujari comes, we can squeeze one more question in.
We should make the offering first before the arti. She can do.
Да направиш предлагането преди.
Yeah, but the Purusharthuta and the Sophia temple standard is different. They do not make offering before that, but we have to make the offering for the deities first before the arti.
What offering? Milk?
Some fruit, some milk.
So what's happening now?
We can give some, maybe some bhoga.
Making a little fruit offering now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go on to a few more minutes of the questions. All right?
Ясно, че сме съвършени и правим много грешки в това. Въпросът ми е, ако човек наистина полага максимум усилия и въпреки това има някакъв напредък, обаче не е това достатъчно да е всъщност човек да развие Кришна знание и да се върне още при Бога.
It is clear that we are not perfect, and we make mistakes, but if someone is doing his best or her best to the maximum to do everything nice, but still he cannot do it, is this sufficient to develop Krishna consciousness?
Yes.
But thinking that this is sufficient, then it's not good. We should always think we could do better.
Трябва да си мислиш, че е достатъчно, но си мислим, че те можем по-добре.
Not that I think that I have done my best.
А не да си мисля, аз направих най-доброто.
We've never done our best. Should always think, I've tried, but I can do better. That's what you always think. Never think, this is the best I can possibly do, so I cannot worry about it. I've done my best and my business is finished. No, you can always do better. Okay, this Mataji here has a question.
Бих желала да обясня. Преди няколко дена ми откраднаха ми сърчето, което ми беше вътре с пиличките ми, с всичките неща. Не мога да купя наново, защото цялата си заплата е пращам в БНБ банка в Бургас и моята заплата български лево минават в евро, защото моят внук, който почина от рак на гърлото в Испания, в град Валенсия, там беше операцията, ми го донесоха кремирано в една урничка и това е моя живот. Метаблокови след като чета лекции, мия чужди коли, само и само да направя повече пари, за да внасям, защото ще им вземат апартамента и те ще излязат на улицата.
Is the question? Oh. No, this is the time for questions.
Затова няма множечко.
Може би не става въпрос за вас, той дава.
За мен беше.
Не.
За мен беше.
No,
What's that?
because you said that sometimes we are not clean and we cannot even clip our nails. She said that this remark was regarding her. She thought that this remark...
No, I'm saying we should do everything expertly. Even clipping our nails should be done nicely. Not that you let them grow out with dirt in them. That's,
She think that this is related to she.
Huh?
She thought that this concerns her.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about you.
Не, аз не съм говорил за вас. Не беше лично.
I'm talking about all these devotees.
Говорихме за всички тук, че това е принципът, че трябва да сме чисти и да правим всичко добре.
We all have to clip our nails regularly.
Ние всички трябва редовно да си режем ногтите.
Not that we let them get too long and dirty and things. Everyone has to clip their nails. Not only you. We all clip our nails.
Всички трябва да си режем ногтите и да не ги оставяме да се мръснат.
Any question? Yeah.
Забелязал съм, че винаги правя по-малко от възможностите ми. Въпросът ми е колко служени трябва да дам. По-малко от колкото мога или повече.
He has noticed that he does every time a little less than his maximum ability. So his question is how much service he should do. A little less.
Well, you have a medical condition you have to remember. You have to, because of your medical condition, you have to be a little careful, not to push yourself too hard. That's been concluded, hasn't it? Huh?
Sometimes yes, but sometimes.
I mean, the thing is, we don't want you to. You have a certain health issue, you have to be aware of them. So you should do as much service as you can do without going beyond the limit for yourself. It's like I have a health condition also, my ears. If I hear too much drum, then I get not good. I have to be careful how loud and how long I hear some drum beating. So yesterday in the Rath Yatra, I had to stand away from the drum. I stayed back with Lord Jagannath. I'm standing by his cart away from all the kirtan. Because I have some health issue, I had to take care of it. Although I would like to be in the middle of the kirtan, singing and dancing. Because of my health issue, I have to be a little away. So sometimes for health, one has to hold oneself back sometimes from devotional activities also. But one should always do as much service as one can and at the same time maintain one's health. Anything else? Rupa Manohar Prabhu.
Аз искам да се върнем сутринта на въпроса за завистта. Понеже казах завистта, че всъщност ние сме завидвали на Кришна и това е така. И затова сме тук. Моят въпрос е явно, че става някакси, но все пак нещо повече. Как сме в духовния свят не би трябвало да има завист. Това е чиста атмосфера, всеки служи на другия. Как се докосва тази завист до нас в духовния свят? За да може ние да станем зависими към Кришна.
His question is related to envy.
Envy.
Yeah.
Envy.
Envy.
Yes.
We need a table there for Radha.
He understands that somehow it happened in the beginning when we were in the spiritual world, that this was the reason why we came to the material world.
Right.
But how did it happen? Because the atmosphere in the spiritual world is very pure and we have a loving relationship with Krishna and devotees. How did this envy creep in?
What is that slok? Let's say, Krishna Bahar Mukha Bhogavanchakare What's the word?
Pache.
Pache?
Pache. Se Maya Japati Adhikari.
Yes, this Prabhupada quoted the verse from the Prema Vivarta. When one turns his face away from Krishna, then Maya grabs it and gives him a big slap.
Когато човек си отвърне лицето от Кришна, тогава Майя го хваща, сграбчва и му бие шамар. Голям шамар.
So, it's really a matter of free will.
Така че всичко зависи от свободната воля.
That you have the choice to either serve God or to imitate God.
Ние имаме избор или да служим на Бога, или да му имитираме.
For all of eternity, you have the free choice.
Цяла вечност имаме този свободен избор.
And so, but you know that actually serving God is the right thing and imitating Him is foolish.
И ние знаем, че да служим на Бога е правилното нещо, но да го имитираме е глупаво.
If you go for all of eternity, to have the choice is always there, and sometimes you become a little curious. What would it be like if I tried to imitate God?
И ти цяла вечност имаш този избор и в един момент ставаш любопитен. Абе, какво ли е да имитирам Бога?
You go on for all of eternity, so you have that choice. You're always wondering. You get curious. What it would be like if I tried to imitate God? I heard it's not good, but I wonder what it's really like. It's like a little boy, you see, the mother tells the little boy, my dear son, my dear, see what is a Bulgarian name? Clement, yeah. My dear Clement, do not stick your hand in the fire, it will burn. So little Clement, and there's another brother, you see, and the mother tells both the brothers, do not stick your hand in the fire, it will burn. So the other boy, you see, he doesn't stick his hand in the fire. But little Clement, he becomes very curious. What it would be like if I stuck my hand in the fire? He knows it's not supposed to, but he's thinking, well, why are they forbidding me anyway? Maybe it's something really wonderful. They're not letting me do it. Unfairly denying me something really wonderful. So one day when his mother is out of the kitchen, he does it. He sticks his hand in the fire. And he's crying and screaming. His mother comes running. What did you do, my little son? You stuck your hand in the fire. I told you not to do that. Will he do it again? No. So curiosity got the best of him, you see. The living entity, he may become curious. I'm not supposed to do this, but maybe there's something there I'm being unfairly denied. Let me try to be God, you see. Then you try and you get burned. So the child will stick his hand in the fire once. To really do it twice? No. Does he have the free will? He could do it? He could do it again. Free will is always there for the living entity. But once he sticks his hand in the fire and comes to this material world, he will never do it again. Once he tasted what it's like to be entrapped in the cycle of birth and death, he'll never do it again. So, does that answer your question? Okay. We'll stop here. Thank you all very much. Raja Virja Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Sankarshana Prabhu Ki Jai.